Hello, and welcome to the Dahlia World Gardens presentation of Seattle at Dawn, a Mage the Ascension chronicle. I am our storyteller, Tim Dahlia. Thank you for joining us today. We stream new episodes on the Dahlia World Garden Twitch channel every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Plus, you can watch our previous and future episodes at the Dahlia World Garden YouTube channel. Links can be found in the channel description. If you enjoy what we are doing here, if you enjoy the World of Darkness and actual plays, please like this video and follow or subscribe to the channel. We would greatly appreciate it. The awakened in the World of Darkness push the boundaries of reality with their very existence. They scream against the silent workings of the universe, proclaiming they have the will to change what is. Whether they have the right to do so is a debate as old as the Tellurian itself. Certainly, the phenomenon of paradox, at the very least, their rights are contested, or suggests that their rights are contested. How a mage views the world and their place in it plays a role in what changes they can make before reality screams back. All practitioners of the arts or sciences must explore the edges of their known worlds to grow. The term arete is used by the 9 mystic traditions to reflect a mage's knowledge, will, imagination, and integrity to wield true magic. For every mage who rises to the rank of master, there are millions that have failed to grow beyond initiation. True excellence takes more than raw power or wild talent. It requires discipline. It demands focus. It seeks paradoxical, lowercase p, truths. And it costs more than some mages have to give. And with that, it is my honor to introduce our mage disciples. I think we'll start with Alix.
Oh.
Did I catch you while you were eating?
No, you're fine. I had just swallowed. Your timing is impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
So my name is Alix. I play Jezebel Spinner. Jezzy is very grateful that she has the friends that she does, because it has been a hectic ride, and it seems as though everything is finally coming to a place where she can take a deep breath. It's gonna be nice.
Okay. Billie.
Hi, I'm Billie. I have recently adjusted my pronouns to she, they, as I have been growing and changing. I play Charlie Newell, who is also aka Calvin Klein. Yeah, it's been a wild ride for all of us, I think. But with this connection that Charlie has made via the internet, with the, being inside the internet, and Charlie has this desire to bring that kind of connection to his mushroom mycelial network connection.
Yeah, I love it. And Cindy.
I'm Cindy. I play Inea, née Blackwell, who is a Kha'vadi techno shaman. She is finding herself coming to grips with a side of reality that she wasn't prepared for. So she's made a connection with Glitch, who is an electronic spirit. And she's not sure how to feel about that. So she is looking forward to getting a chance to process everything that they've all been through the last several weeks, and just kind of get a chance to come to grips with some of those experiences because they have surprised her in ways she wasn't prepared for. So she's having a little bit of an existential crisis.
Existential crisis is kind of the name of the game when it comes to being a mage, I think.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah. Since the three of you have come together, you've caught a glimpse at the larger body politic of awakened society. You've been in street fights with possessed bigots. You've rescued a friend in need. You punched a cyborg. Rescued a douchebag. Escaped a paradox implosion. You threw your allegiance in with a secretive rogue chantry. You volunteered at a soup kitchen. You've been accused of murder. You have regrown from the earth via a network of quasi-sentient fungus. You have communed with otherworldly spirits. You infiltrated a Technocratic Union construct. You escaped a saber-toothed tiger. You rescued some fellow mages. You rescued a sleeper. You were digitized and trapped within the digital web. You flew through the spaces in between while being chased by digital Mandalorian-esque hit marks. You were nearly consumed by a biblically accurate angel in the digital web. You made a deal to escape that digital web with, you hope, not the devil. You had an amazing breakfast at Claire's, only to meet a seemingly disgruntled man in black. And no one should begrudge you a well-deserved break. Well, almost no one. Yeah, you've had a rough go of it. The crucible your cabal has endured will, in time, be legend, if you survive long enough to allow it. You've taken a week or so to rest. Keeping an eye on your various feeds of information, all seems quiet in this late November morning. Thanksgiving is not a holiday here, though you have heard from the bridge trolls some things to be thankful for. The Griffin Claw and the Waymaker, which sounds like an amazing comic book to me, are safe, along with the awakened you helped them rescue. Attacks on the homeless are down. The streamer attacks also seem to have subsided. Lucia has kept her following. Even Jolee is doing well, helping Aunt Mabel with the commune, and he seems happy. That's what you've heard. Winter hasn't fully set in, and this crisp autumn air is a welcomed change from the digital web's complete lack of air. And so, you are now comfortably on the Cascade Grove lands, a collection of awakened and unawakened practitioners within the Verbena and the Dreamspeaker traditions. And with that, who would like to go first? I can hear the chimes.
Jeopardy theme playing in the background. I guess I'll go.
Okay. Well, actually, now that I think about it, let's do a little bit of housekeeping here.
Okay.
It's been roughly a week. As such, if we were to count the days, you would all have gained your willpower back at this point. So any spent willpower you can regain. Accumulated paradox. that's harder to bleed off. That takes months or active attempts to remove, typically with the use of familiars or let's just say you actually have to live a very mundane life to have paradox bleed away. That being said, Charlie, you've noticed that your skin, on occasion, will grow little fungus in various places every once in a while. It's not terribly disturbing, but to people who observe and watch you, it could possibly be off-putting. Inea, you don't really have a whole lot of paradox built up. Things more or less remain the same for you. You're not warping reality around you by simply existing.
What about quintessence? Do we regain that spent quintessence?
Well, you can acquire quintessence through meditation and at a node, and there are resources in this area. I would say with this week, the amount of available quintessence to each of you would be, I would say, let's play it safe and say that each of you can get up to your avatar rating times 2. So your avatar rating times 2 is what you can comfortably acquire from this place in this past week.
And let me make sure I just did that right. That's the pitchforks, correct?
Yes. The way I try to do it is I use pitchforks for quintessence and X's for paradox, because you can accumulate enough paradox on the bottom of the wheel going counterclockwise to overtake the quintessence. And so, and as you gain paradox, it does decrease your quintessence if they meet. So I prefer to keep those two separate. So.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, nothing in the box means nothing. And Jezebel. Let's take a look where you're at. You've done a great job. You have not upset reality too much at all.
Well,
You have been subtle. You've been very subtle.
What's that like?
Yes.
Jezebel's been subtle, but also a bullet magnet. So I'm going to say that they kind of balance each other.
Yeah.
Indeed. With the housekeeping more or less out of the way, which of my night hunters want to do anything in this space?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Don't all jump out at once.
I think we're more worried about not stepping on each other.
I agree.
So you did say that there was a node. Are there hold on. To have a rope. Is there a way? I have a route somewhere that helps me find places to get quintessence.
Yes.
And I think I would like to do that and spend some time with Polaris as well. Meeting points. Meeting Polaris.
Yeah, so this was something that you were kind of contemplating for Snake Tongue Point. Hey, I said it right. And And yeah, you were looking for that, and you were using your prime to kind of sense those well springs. You don't necessarily need to do a whole lot of that here. The well springs are known to Joseph and Daniel, and they point them out to you. That there's
nice.
The lake itself kind of is a focal point, and there are various streams in the area that people have used. So the water kind of functions in this place as a node. Again, mostly around the lake. I think there's a waterfall somewhere actually nearby. Also,
I think I would like to sort of like pack myself and Polaris a lunch and go hiking. Basically, I want to go and find some place that's secluded, that's near the water where I can do some meditation.
Right on. Okay, so we will transition to you. Like your Cabal mates, you have almost 50 points of experience to spend on various things.
Mm-hmm.
In our discussions before, we've got ideas of what we want to do. Oh no. One note, don't fail me now.
Oh no.
No, it's not. Okay.
That's like my nightmare.
I should mention, upon your arrival in your cabin, you found a box sent to you from Brad that contains 5 doses of joy.
Oh. Well, good looks, Brad. I'm gonna take one. Just one.
You're gonna take one? You're gonna use one, or are you gonna keep it?
Well, I'm gonna keep it with me.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not dropping anything until I get to the waterfall.
I'm gonna take some drugs, and I'm gonna drop the drugs. And you say something like that, and depending on your understanding of English, you have no idea what I just said. Okay. Yeah. So, easy enough. Where are you heading off to have your spiritual lunch?
I know that I don't know how many people are here, but I do know that I want to be away from people.
There's about living in this place, there's about 20 to 30. Some come and go, but you get a fairly solid population of initiates and consors, and you have Daniel and Joseph here. There's also a woman who doesn't necessarily live here, but does visit occasionally that you've seen and met. Her name's Winter's Moon. And of course, Celeste, one of Charlie's mentors, has been hanging out as well.
There's Moon.
Let me give you... So at the compound, you've got Joseph and Daniel in their cozy cabin. You've got Celeste, who hangs out, and occasionally Winter's Moon shows up. And you are going off to, I guess, secluded areas.
Yeah. I want to just kind of be by myself a little bit. There's, like, being trapped in the internet kind of felt weird. For me, as heavy as I am into meditation and yoga and feeling grounded, being trapped in the internet is the exact opposite of what I am. So it just, there's a bit to process. There's a bit to process.
Okay. And out here in seclusion, with the autumn vistas, how are you processing all of this? How are you squaring up the existence that you've experienced?
Yoga. I'm doing a very strenuous and long routine
Okay.
as I work through each thing and work it out through the body, because that's the only way to feel connected again.
Okay.
And you know what's really wild about this whole thing is as unsettling as it was also exhilarating in such a very different way than I'm used to. Like, I mean, I read my books, I'm in my library, I hang out with my friends and my family, but this is something completely different. So, there was something incredible about it too that I liked a lot. And it's part of the reason why I'm interested in the different spheres of magic, the way that people use their abilities differently to the way that I normally do. Everything I do is in the brain. But, I mean, I saw what Charlie can do. I saw what Nay can do. Like, oh my god, they summoned freaking motorcycles and made blast shields and internet search engines in the internet. It's just, anyways, that all of that is what's going on right now.
So where are you placing your focus in terms of the next step of Jezzy's learning?
I've been thinking about this a lot. And I'm thinking that it would have to be correspondence.
Okay.
It would have to be because of the way that Jezzy was able to move things while in the internet. It would have to be that.
Okay. So, Jezebel, who currently has no true understanding of correspondence, but having a taste of it has inspired you to try and uncover the secrets of connectivity, of unity, and the illusion of space.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's like the meditative idea that we are all one except tangible now. It's very cool.
and it does kind of fit in with your theme and your higher beliefs.
Yeah.
So, How are you going to pursue learning more in correspondence? You have resources. You have being self-taught using a library. You have available mentors that may be able to help you with that. You have Charlie, who could probably help you into some spaces on that. Neither one of you are, well, actually both of you do practice some form of drug-induced magics. So there is a common practice. I don't think your paradigms are wildly outrageous from one another's. And the time that you've spent together, you could potentially, use that to learn. So, and then of course there's just, going off and feeling it for yourself without your library or any of the other stuff.
Honestly, my first instinct was Charlie. I'm not even gonna lie. Like you said, what are you gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna ask Charlie because what's stuck in my head is what I saw Charlie do. Like the stuff that was able to happen, like the magic TM that went down in the internet is wild to me. So, I mean, if Charlie can do that,
oh yeah, we're gonna eat some mushrooms and talk about connectivity.
let's do it. Let's do it. The last time I was on shrooms, I was on a fucking spirit horse. Now we're gonna get real about connection. Let's do it.
Okay. We'll say, well, let me ask you to... Charlie's a Cabal mate. He's a friend. Potentially a mentor in this facility. He's not necessarily a purchased mentor background, but he is somebody that you have access to. So I'm going to treat that as having a, let's say, and for the case of this, he would count as like a 2-dot mentor. So what I would do at some point is I'm going to have you roll with that in mind, to determine how long it takes you to learn the concepts and truly understand correspondence. Okay, let me read something real quick. I've got the guide here, so 1 second. Okay. You've been talking with Charlie probably for about a week now and all that. So, and you are continuing to, and I will definitely give you an opportunity to sit and have a continued conversation with Charlie. But right now, go ahead and let's just do a standard dice pool roll with 2 dice and the difficulty being 4. Okay, 2 successes. That means that, okay, you are close to understanding what Charlie has been talking about for all this week.
Oh.
You're starting to get the pieces and the gears into place. So, what that means we'll uncover later. For now, you have a secluded area. You've been focused. You've been doing your yoga. Anything else that you're looking to pursue?
I think the next thing I would like to do is lay out an offering for Polaris. Yes, that is the next idea.
So, in this space that you're thinking of, I know we're kind of metagaming here a little bit, but for Polaris, are you looking to increase your relationship with them and thereby making a project to increase your avatar rating?
Oof. So we talked about our project,
Yes.
and I think the project that I wanted to focus in on the most was my library,
Okay.
because it's woefully underfunded.
Okay. Well,
Like, it's,
throughout this journey, we have been having a continued building relationship with Polaris. So I would not be adverse, because the projects basically lower the experience cost. But you can spend the full experience to increase the background. In this case, it would cost 6 points to go from 1 point to 2 points in Avatar.
okay. And I do kind of want to. I do kind of want to increase my relationship with Polaris, though.
Okay.
The thing. Because that has been like something that I've been working on too.
Yeah, absolutely. Indeed. So, your meditation with... I'm not even going to have you roll, because this is an extended ritual type thing, so you can oftentimes feel the presence of Polaris when you're meditating. And last time you were in this space, you found that he was actually pretty good at imitating your poses. So, I would say, what else are you looking to do?
So, okay. Polaris did my meditation, talking to Charlie. I think that's everything.
As a reminder, because I did take these notes, things that Jezzy was concerned with was being a better fighter physically, lessening the liability to those around her, looking into more of the spirit sphere and also the forces sphere, and those were the big gets. And again, you were looking to increase your library through a project, but you know, this is all kind of, you got 49 experience points, so it's...
I do. So, are we using experience points now?
I am keeping track of what experience points you would spend for the things that you're looking into.
Okay, so I do have a question.
Yes.
Who would I speak to be trained as a fighter?
So, you got a couple options. There are self-defense classes in the Seattle area. You're also near Leavenworth. It's a small town, but they do have like a small little karate dojo. And then you also have the woman who visits every once in a while, Winter's Moon.
Yeah,
She
I want to
is-
learn her.
She has been touted as a pretty good fighter.
I like her name, so I would have learned from her.
So for that, I mean, yeah, that would be a note here. I like taking notes at this point. So,
Say I don't really have notes, but I do actually have some notes in my phone.
there you go.
I do actually keep some like
Every now and
notes
then.
app kind of phone notes.
I am not good
Some
at taking.
things.
That's why I record everything, because otherwise I don't remember.
So, as you're meditating, and as you work through the different motions, and at this point you've practiced a couple times, and you've gotten better at that handstand. That it's amazing how once you do it once, it just can happen again, over and over.
Yeah.
It's takes so much to get there, and you realize that, oh, it's just this and this and this, and then like your brain just starts filling in all the little gaps that you didn't have before. And so successfully you go through these more complex motions, and you make a note that maybe I should try something a little harder. You've got your bag of food. Your yoga meditation is complete. It's sun has just passed the zenith. What would you like to do now?
So, I did want to learn from this winter's moon lady. I think it would be best to go and say hello.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll pause here, and we'll make that a interaction for the future. I think now is a good time to transition to Charlie. Hello, Charlie.
Hello.
What are you doing this Thanksgiving weekend?
Well, a lot of internet research to see if anyone has attempted to connect internet, like networks or just computer networks with mycelial networks.
Getting into the fringes of the internet here.
Yes, it's some oddball stuff, but then that's part of the time that time spent doing that, and also time spent just out in the forest connecting to their mycelial network, and basically just feeling how far that can reach.
Right. Okay. Get the right side for this token. There we go. Calvin. Calvin Klein. First of note, you haven't reverted back to your Charlie form. You're still looking a little like Jason Alexander. So with better hair.
Like George with the wig. The tube.
Okay. Yes. See, there was a. Never mind. Remembering a movie that he was in. Anyway. All right. So internet. Search and investigation here. So, you don't have a whole lot in computer skills. Are you looking?
I have like, yeah, that's something that I'm looking to increase. I feel like I'm gonna need some help with that.
You have a good resource in your Cabal mate of Inea. She knows that
Yay!
pretty damn well. So,
I love that we can help each other.
yes.
We have various resource things that we can do that the other people can't do that we can teach them to do.
Exactly.
So of course some of that time is spent working with Inea, trying to improve my knowledge of computers, and probably, at some point realizing that this idea of connecting mycelial networks to internet is maybe a pipe dream, but also something that is definitely outside of at least sleeper reality.
Right. This would be some wild fringe stuff that the virtual adepts this would be something that they would have to probably even try to facilitate, because you're taking the biological world and the spiritual world and using it to bridge the gap to the digital world.
Yeah, but
It's not even
I just took my physical self into a digital realm, so I'm thinking, just having done that gives Charlie the idea that something like this can be done.
Right. So that is squarely more into some dark web stuff, but learning a single dot
At this
in
point,
computer.
Charlie doesn't have the computer skills to even get, to get anywhere with this project. So that's the start of it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, definitely long-term goals here. And this is the start of it, is learning some basic computer skills.
Sometimes something happens in your life and it changes the direction that you were intending to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've also, as noted, and along the same veins, learning or being compelled to learn more about correspondence and pushing your arete even further and growing that. And that will probably have to be, your avatar, the mycelial network itself, is calling to you, and you know that it is wanting you to learn more, to be part of it. And so that is certainly a seeking to be had. Looking at that is going to be pretty expensive, but not too bad. If you were looking to raise your arete through a seeking. Then once you do that, you've already experienced what it's like to have foreign correspondent, or in character, having that level of knowledge or power, because you've done it in the real world and you've done it in the digital world. You are halfway there. You just now need to understand it. So yeah, I think that would be 24 points, experience points. But again, you have 49 to spend if you were to do that. So.
That seems like the logical route for what Charlie has been experiencing and where this character is going.
Correct. So, with that in mind, you've gotten a lot of the way there, just with your experiences. But how are you pursuing to get the rest of that knowledge? Are you seeking help from mentors and other masters, or are you doing pure library research, little column A, little column B?
A little of column A, a little of column B. I'm definitely going to have to reach out to my own sources, my own contacts, as well as seeing, who here at this chantry can help me.
Okay.
And then, doing some, book and net research as well.
The difficulty's higher. But you can. There is. In the conversations that you've had here, you've got. Absolutely nobody that is a master in correspondence. Doesn't look like your former mentor. She is a near master. She would be like a couple levels higher than you in life. She understands life very well.
Yes, that totally makes sense.
Correspondence, hard to find anybody who here that knows more than you about that. May take some time once you raise your arete to.
Well, what do I know about who would be knowledgeable? Like, what type of mages would be knowledgeable in correspondence?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be more of your adepts, your virtual adepts, or because it seems like like your dream speakers are more in the spirit type of realm, and then you have your
it kind of runs all over the place. Correspondence is something that
it seems
virtual
like
adepts
the virtual adepts would be the way to go. So maybe I should talk to Techie Pesci and Penny and see if they know somebody who could help in that regard.
It's a possibility. The virtual adepts do tend to have a wildly different paradigm and practices than what you can like really plug into. You might be able to find more paganish mages. You can put out feelers for that. They do keep a network in the area. So in the surrounding areas, of course. So of course, a master of correspondence, they could be anywhere in the world, and so it's something that you think you could probably research and find someone. So you might be on a mentor search for that.
Okay.
We'll pin that and we'll make it part of. And that could be, honestly, that could be that could be a project to find a mentor that has the requirements that you want. So we can, I like that idea. Okay. And you were also concerned about the flamboyancy of your practice, wanting to be a bit more subtle and maybe find ways of dealing with paradox. And I know we discussed looking at a familiar that could help with that. And I think that's probably going to be your best bet would be having one of the masters here help you with that.
Yeah, I should ask around.
Alrighty. All right. Anything on this weekend that you're pursuing at this point? What are you looking for? Other than what we discussed, is there anything new?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Let me check notes, see if there was anything that I missed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. You were looking also at other tech people beyond Inea. And you do have that list of that Brad gave you for contacts.
Oh, yes. I still have not looked into that.
And I just remembered that that was something that we talked about last week, so, or the week before, whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
And especially with that, the whole deal with him wanting his tech back and all of that stuff. And yeah, I feel like I should reach out to these people.
Okay. So I will say that you, on the list, there are 5 individuals. And over the course of this week, with Inea's help, you've looked into reaching out to them. And you haven't gotten any responses yet, but you've put out requests for meetings with Professor Lucas, Captain Simon Blast of the Sky Cavalry, scientist Francis Peters, parapsychologist, Roberta Crest, adventurer and truth seeker, Lyric, a local member of the Cult of Ecstasy, and Sean Cornell, a Society of Ether explorer. Of them all, Sean and Lyric are local inside Seattle, and the others are in parts unknown. But Brad somehow knows these people. Did I say 5? I meant 6. Had to add
Brad
Shannon.
causes me to have so many questions.
He's a complex character.
He's a connected character.
Yeah.
So you've put out those requests, and you've done some learning with Inea. I'd say it doesn't take too long. I think you can, in this past week working with her, you've been able to increase your knowledge of computing. So I'd say you can take that 1 dot in computers and spend 3 experience points. Now, we will go to Inea. What's on Inea's mind? How's Thanksgiving for her?
Well, she had a promise to keep with Proberry, so there was some drone flying.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, because she needs Proberry to stay happy. So while May was working with Charlie, I'm thinking that she would have liked to be learning some correspondence from Charlie.
And he's just going to have these master classes.
In part because Nay is starting to realize the way that she's kind of handicapped herself without knowing it, by being kind of a loner. And now she's not this loner anymore. She doesn't even know for sure. She's like tripped and fell face first into a cabal, and she's not entirely sure how that happened. But, she's rolling with it because honestly, I mean, her avatar is Moro, who is a wolf and who has probably been pushing her to collect a pack for a while. Like, that's just the right, that is the way of life for a wolf. So this is probably not necessarily a bad thing for Nay.
No.
She's just having a lot to get used to. One of those things is the connections that suddenly she has, but they go both ways, and that's her biggest concern. So the correspondence is one thing. She needs to learn about the connections that she was making and that were really glaringly obvious in the digital web, that they may have like backed off a little bit now that they're back in reality, but they still exist. So she's got to learn to work with that. Oh boy, she has so much.
Okay. Well, to
also
that.
while working with Charlie, she will have wanted to be checking up to see on the murder investigation to see if Agent Quinn has been able to keep his promise.
Okay.
So there's that.
Okay.
Go ahead with what you were going to say.
I was going to have you roll 2 dice with
Okay.
the difficulty of 5.
Now I have to remember how to do that without...
Should be the standard dice pool roll button.
Oh, down there. Got it. 2 dice. Difficulty of 5. No variable target number.
No.
Okay, it didn't give
2
me a
successes.
difficulty. Yeah, it didn't give me a difficulty option. Just the
That
variable.
would be the variable target.
Oh, should I do that again then?
Let's see. Roll 2. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that again.
Okay. So 2 dice, and then the variable target number will be 5.
5. Yeah.
Oh no, I got no
0.
successes.
Okay. You've been sitting with Charlie, and his perceptions of the world are way more outrageous and different from how you view it. There is some overlap, but you're way more into the idea of animism, and his is more like visceral, and there's like just the blood in things. And you've gotten some of those lessons from Morrow, and there's some overlap, but it's just not quite able to lower the amount of time that this would take. That's what the Metro roll is for, is to see if you can cut down on how much it'll take. You can still learn this, but it's probably going to be a few more months before you can really truly understand correspondence at that level. Like, you have perceptions of like space, but you haven't quite gotten the manipulation and influencing of space yet. Not quite there. But the experience in the digital web, I will say, has reduced that a bit as well. So it's not like it's going to take a year, but you are definitely on the path of learning that.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Sometimes the rolls don't go well.
The rolls are not cooperative. Well, she's also going to be taking that to Morrow and Flower Child, but that's coming up.
Yeah, and also you're correct. As a shaman, your mentors can be also the spirits you meet.
Right. So another thing that, and then I'm kind of going from real world into the spirit world stuff that she wants to do. So another thing that she wants to do, so she's frustrated about what she still sees as her inability to protect her group. So when she finds out that there have been martial arts lessons being had, she's going to want to jump in on that if she can.
Okay. Yeah.
Asked
absolutely.
to join that
Yes.
to
Okay.
improve her martial arts skills.
Absolutely. And you've got some already, I think. But
Mm-hmm. Yes.
yeah, you're definitely a little further along than Jezzy would be.
Yes.
So you're a yellow belt. She's a white belt. If we were to use that, like
Right,
anybody
system.
actually does.
Yep.
You're a 5-degree black belt. That means nothing. What are you talking about?
Depends on your discipline, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. All right. Let's see. What else were you looking at? You were, yeah. Got to bring up my notes from last time.
I was going to ask you to do that because I don't remember what all we talked about last time. I have some stuff that I just jotted down while everybody else was talking about their stuff, but tonight. But I don't remember what we talked about last week or last time.
Yeah. There was the improving your contacts, your resources,
Yes.
sanctum, kind of in that order.
Mm-hmm.
I
I think we talked about that as a project.
Yeah, as a project. Also, possibly ripping apart the Technocratic Union recorder.
Yes. Yeah, she probably will have wanted to tinker with that a little bit over the week.
And also, looking into a possible. I have it written as like an underground railroad, but like more of like, just kind of a better untrained mage to the traditions pipeline.
Yeah.
The indoctrination
her.
pipeline.
Make her sound like a fascist. Wait a minute.
You're not PragerU. I'm not suggesting that, but maybe there could be a Blackwell you. I don't know.
Oh God.
You
So
could make
that
some
comes out
really-
of her.
Good.
That comes out of her personal experience being divorced from her own roots as a Native American with no certainty as far as a tradition is concerned. So she kind of just tripped and fell into this cabal. But her own practice and wound up with the Kha'vadi. So she's wanting to help people be less lost, and for a shorter amount of time so that they can find their path. So yeah,
Definitely
that's
something that you can work with somebody here about as well.
She might approach Joseph about that and see if he knows who to put her in touch with for that.
Oh, yeah.
And that
Absolutely.
would contribute some to her increasing networking and contacts.
All right. Yeah. And you've got some experience points as well. Is there any stat like stat that you were looking at?
Oh boy, is there. Okay, so what I jotted down here.
'Cause I know we're looking at martial arts improvement. That's a stat improvement, but also
Right. Martial arts. She was really intrigued and mildly horrified by the trinary computer situation.
Okay.
So she wants to know more about that. So I think I'm looking at a technology increase there.
Some hypertech.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I've got 1 dot in technology right now and 3 in computer. I'm not sure where that would fall. Maybe on the technology side, I'm guessing.
It's hypertech. If it's not listed here, but it would be like a secondary skill.
Okay.
So that's definitely something to learn about, and you can probably learn more about that from people you know, like
Yeah,
Penny
she.
or
Yeah,
Winston.
she'll go to Penny. Winston's her last choice. Like if she has no other choice. She and Winston are oil and water. It's just that's how it's going to be.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So I'm looking at that. Was hoping to increase correspondence, but that ain't going to work. She is going to take that to Morrow and Flower Child. Just
Yeah, that would
as a note.
probably. I mean, that would. I would allow a. Yeah, I would allow that to be a different role, but it would still. Yeah,
but we'll do that. We'll do that in a minute.
Correct.
Because she does want to, wander off on her own and do some meditation as well to try and process what the hell just happened to them. And she wants to talk with Morrow and Flower Child about Glitch. She has a lot of mixed feelings about Glitch. Because Glitch was helpful. But she had the distinct impression that Glitch might not have been, and it was just a question of circumstances and her throwing novelties at it that it was helpful. She is a little concerned Glitch is worse than Coyote.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It would be you. Yeah, I mean, from your perspective. And everything is kind of, like I said, we're talking about like everybody has their own perspectives, the Rashomon effect, if you will. Yeah, this would kind of fall into like the trickster god, trickster spirit motif.
That was the distinct sense that she got, and so she really wants to talk with Morrow and Flower Child about that whole situation and get their advice, and also on the correspondence thing, because she's got what she got from Charlie about correspondence, but it's a completely different discipline, so she's hoping to get their advice as far as incorporating that.
See if if you can make peanut butter and jelly burrito. Got it.
Something like that, yes. Good grief, you've been reading John Scalzi.
No, actually, I just ran out of bread. And I had a tortilla. Had one tortilla, no bread. I was like, I want a PB&J. Let's do this.
I think we've all been there at some point.
You throw some banana bits in it. It's perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so then we talked about... Okay, so in the digital web, she threw up that barrier
Yes.
to try and help protect Jezzy.
Yeah, you thickened the space.
Right. She is wondering if she can find a way to do that in real, I don't know, as a rote or as a, if she's got to take forces.
It would be correspondence. I mean, that was a pure correspondence. Yeah, if you got 2 in correspondence, again, that was because you were able to get, because of the digital web, your correspondence went from 1 to 2, so you had access to influencing space. So increasing your knowledge of that would also allow you to do that in meat space.
Okay, so that was a thing that she's wanting to do. So that's going to be correspondence also. Okay, and we talked about improving contacts.
It can also be done through forces. There's multiple paths to the same solution.
Okay. I'm kind of thinking, since I've already got correspondence, I want to keep pursuing that. It wouldn't make sense for her to go to an entirely different sphere just for the one thing. Entirely new sphere.
I mean, to go from 1 to 2 correspondence will take 8 experience points. To learn forces and get to 2 in forces to do something similar would take 18 points. So,
right, it doesn't make sense to do it that way. Yeah. So, and then the other thing was, I don't know if improving Avatar would be of a benefit, but she's got a new appreciation for that relationship, having been cut off from it in the digital web.
yeah, it was. Yeah, that would definitely be something that you'd want to meditate on, I'm sure.
It was a little bit of a trauma for her because she's used to being able to reach out to that realm, call it, and it was not there.
And you've got 3 in spirit, so I would imagine you can step sideways. So that being in the digital web, not being able to do that, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it bothered her. And then her interaction with Glitch was a bothersome thing as well, or a troublesome thing, for a number of reasons. So I think maybe we might be at the meditate and go have a chat with Moro and Flower Child point.
All right. We will do that. But right now, the 3 of you have spent your time here. You spent Thanksgiving, not necessarily celebrating Thanksgiving. Nobody cooked a turkey here. None of the dream speakers are really into Thanksgiving at all. Yeah, exactly. But they still have communal dinners, and so there is a larger building that has a communal kitchen and eating space, large table, where the 3 of you gather around, and you've got various people that you've met and said hi to, and they all kind of know that you're hiding out here. And Joseph and Daniel and Winter's Moon and Celeste are all there with you. So the 3 of you have your opportunities to talk, communicate amongst each other, as well as just kind of enjoy the food. It's a good meal. Offset you this way. There we go. Yay! Oops, I brought Polaris into this. Polaris is not eating with you guys. He has decided to, abstain from appearing this evening. At the table, Joseph looks around and he's like, so, how's Cascade Grove treating our 3 new guests?
Pretty well so far. It seems like you actually have a really great space here. We've had the opportunity to really sit down and kind of work with each other and try to help each other out, and it's been really nice to have a calm, regenerative space to do that in.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's been very restful by comparison.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Malcolm and all his friends do all this without space. But, well, it can get a little crazy out there with the politics and the noise. But I assume each of you is working out what you guys are going to be planning on doing for Malcolm and whatever he has you tasked for.
Well, we've been... Yes. We've been continuing to work on that, but it seems to have settled a little bit, so... which is useful for the moment. Actually, I did want to talk with you, Joseph, about finding ways to direct borderline awakened, newly awakened, that sort of thing, into safer paths than sort of fumbling around out there all by themselves. I wondered if you might have some ideas about how I can do that. I already do some of that on my blog, but I'd like to increase or improve the method if I can. So if you have some suggestions or know someone who might, I would really appreciate it.
It is a thin line to walk to advertise our presence is frowned upon. But there are ways of reaching the sleepers, and there are ways of finding wild talent if we can. A few years ago, we had a child come through here. They were actually quite impressive. Not sure where they are these days. Malcolm brought them to us. I think they were his apprentice for some time. But perhaps, I mean, it is in the interest of the traditions to keep young talent and keep new ideas coming in. I myself struggle with the Verbena, and we oftentimes get caught up in the old ways. And I mean, I myself am out here cut off from modern technology, and this is where I am comfortable. This is where I raised my daughter. This is where I found love many times, and where I have found that sense of peace that I know many of us don't have, and that this place may not necessarily be the center of peace for others. Too many of my tradition have fallen to, this is the way it was done in the past, or these are the bad ideas that we cling to, instead of embracing newer, better ideas. I think that's why I was talked into running for office anyway. I don't look forward to that. And if I win, I lose all of this in the name of bringing everybody together. In the name of unity, I have to separate myself from what I find unifying. Paradox. But I think you're right. There is while there is a lull, I don't think the technocracy has stopped recruiting young scientists, and I want to see if we can possibly bridge that gap and bring more into our fold, make the world a better place. I know Malcolm agrees.
That he seemed to. One reason that I decided to use a blog for precisely that, for the work that I've been doing in that vein, has to do with the fact that seekers of my generation and younger have the tendency to look to the internet first.
I was meaning to ask you, are you on the TikToks?
I haven't gone there yet because my vlog is more for mundane activism. Okay. But I could certainly, I know there is a They call it witch talk, and I have been looking at it. So it's a thing that I have considered.
Oh, witch talk. That sounds... I like that. I don't know what any of that meant. Daniel thinks that I should get out more. At this, Daniel just kind of smiles. He's like, "Of course, son. Of course."
It might not hurt if you're going to be in office.
I would be running his campaign. It's the other Verbena. They don't like it. They think I'm too wooey with the spirits and not enough. I don't use the knife the same. They don't like me. But it's okay. It's okay.
I think you'd be fine on witch talk. It gets a little out there.
I'll look into it. I'll make sure that he how do you say? Well, I'll make some. I'll make him do some pretty dances. To this, several people chuckle and laugh at it, and one of the consorts almost spits up their milk at the thought of Joseph dancing. The mood is light. These are the conversations mages have about, the nature of reality and how to influence it and how to help where they can. Joseph, continues to his meal, and Winter's Moon stays very focused. They are on that. Celeste, she looks at Charlie and she's like, "So, when did you want to, look, when did you want to talk about the thing? Because I got to get back to Seattle. I got witch talk stuff to do."
Yeah, well...
Not that I haven't liked this. This is great.
So we need to deal with my situation for, with this whole legal situation. And we also... I need some help in learning how to be more subtle with my magic.
You've always kind of struggled with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know. I have a penchant for the flamboyant.
Yeah. I swear.
I don't have that in my my day-to-day life necessarily. That's not, who I am. But so I need to learn to, I don't know, tone it down somehow and continue to do what I do without being so obvious about it.
Yeah, like I said, if I had known that day that you were going to become my problem, I probably would have let that little girl die. No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that. Jesus Christ. Look. Oh my gosh.
Are you going to do this to me, Celestial?
No, I would not. But you got to learn at the very least. Look, you got a mushroom growing out of your head. like right here, like right there, like right above your eyebrow. Yeah. See, that's unsightly, and quite frankly, puts the normies to a little bit of off-putting.
Pocket.
Yeah, sure. I don't want you turning into a mushroom. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
least not permanently. At least not right now.
Okay. Everybody's got their own path to ascension. That's what we... Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. If you like, we can go out. We can probably... Look, I mean, we're gonna need to find something to kind of soak up all that bad voodoo, and
There's that as well. I've kind of worked myself into a well, as you can see, difficult spot.
yeah, you're fat, and not that there's anything wrong with that, and you're turning into a mushroom, which again, anything wrong with that, but I think we want to find the right baseline for you, and maybe we'll work from there. We'll do some practices. We'll do some meditation. I got some rotes that I picked up from Shirley, and maybe do a little more subtle practices. And of course, I've got a ritual that'll help you find a new friend that can help.
Oh, excellent.
So we'll do that together. Tomorrow work for you? You don't have
Yes.
any plans, do you?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. All right. That sounds great. Winter's Moon, after Celeste says that, she's like, yeah, also, I heard there were some interests, some inquiries into a class for martial arts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
Right here.
All right. So I'll be having, and I do this periodically here at the Grove, but we'll have some early morning training. We get up and we start at 7 a.m. So if you are willing and ready, I will kick your ass into a better fighter.
Ouch. Let's do this.
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay.
Nay, pats Jesse on the back. It'll be okay. You'll be okay.
Will we be seeing the fat boy in this?
yes. I mean, if there's a class, if you're teaching a class, I want to be involved. I mean, I know how to throw a punch, but I don't really know anything about martial arts.
All right. Well, I practice judo and jujitsu. A lot of mixed martial arts in there. I've learned some. I've got some karate and some kung fu in there as well. But really, it comes down to where you want to take your opponent down quickly. You want to subdue them. You want to escape. It's not about looking like Jackie Chan. And any of you that come to my class that are expecting that, I will kick your ass until you learn it the right way.
Definitely not expecting that. But you said about putting them down and getting away. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And she gets a little bit of a wicked grin on her face thinking about it. She goes back to her food.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
I like her haircut.
Mm-hmm. Almost like Cindy's.
Almost. I don't think Billie saw it, but yeah, it's not too far off.
This token was made like months ago, so no worries. I wasn't copying you.
I didn't even know I was going to do this to my hair until like 2 weeks ago.
I like it. All right. So, the meal is complete. The different consours of the compound, well, the grove. It's not really a compound like Jesse's place. Clean up and get everything put away. And you are free for your evening. Charlie, Jesse, and Inea, you've been talking amongst yourselves recently, and there's a bit of a, the sun goes down early. You guys are sharing a cabin together. How are you proceeding? How are you getting along? What are you talking about?
I'm making everyone hot cocoa. I'm in the kitchen. Because it's a hot cocoa kind of night,
Yeah. Honestly, Nay has probably been trying to make a concerted effort to get to know these two because they have not had time for that. So she's been sort of like just being present and trying to be involved, and I mean, they've had conversations, or at least she has worked with Charlie quite a bit, between trying to understand the correspondence thing, which is still baffling her, and I'm gonna guess that probably there was some conversation with Jesse about the correspondence too, because she was also trying to learn it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, plus, trying to teach Charlie the computer research stuff. So yeah, there's been probably, Nay at least has been trying to make a conscious effort because she is still stinging from the comment about relying on her cabal mates a little bit more than she had been. Because it's not like that was the first time she'd heard it, but Moro was the one to say it first. And then to have Jesse and Charlie say it was like, oh, it's actually noticeable in real time. Shit. Damn, I've been caught.
So sitting around the
this
table.
is very weird for Charlie too, because Charlie is very much not used to reaching out to other people, or not really used to working with other people. He has, like people that he works with at the university, and people that he works with the wildlife department. He knows people, but like, even when this terrible thing, all this terrible stuff happened, the idea of even like reaching out to his, the Verbena people that he works with, as well as, Celeste and even his own mother, those ideas weren't the first thing to come to mind. So this whole like making new friends and connections is different. It's kind of cool.
Basically, Jesse is our social butterfly, so Jesse hasn't been dealing with a couple of loners.
Fine. What I've figured out is that if you plot people with enough food, eventually they'll start talking. So I've just been feeding y'all and asking y'all a bunch of questions because I understand that it's a little off, little bit awkward for everybody.
Yeah, ask those questions. Do that. I say
you smooth over.
you are all gathered in this small little cabin, sucking down hot cocoa, and Jesse, you're asking questions of your friends. What are you talking about? Go for it. Tell me. Show us.
I want to know what your favorite nacho topping is. And there is a correct answer.
I don't know if I'm gonna give your correct answer, but my correct answer is guac.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guac?
Yeah, that could.
Oh my god!
You know what? The chips are just a means for guac delivery. That's it. That's what that's for.
Honestly, when it comes to nachos, the chip is the most important thing for me. It has to be like a certain, like, Juanitas are absolutely the best chips that exist.
Those are the only ones that I eat at this point. Those are the best ones.
Okay,
They're so good.
Somebody's gonna have to steer me to these chips because I have no friggin' clue. I just whatever's in the chip aisle that that's what I pick up. It's the guac. Okay,
They're
it's
the closest
guac.
ones to like restaurant chips that you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. They have like that thin crispiness that's also kind of like hefty enough to handle a nacho.
Yes.
You know what? That
the
piece,
salt level's perfect.
that
Yeah,
is
it's good.
important. The chip does need to be strong enough to handle the guac, because the guac is like the heaviest piece of whatever's on the nachos. So
That is true. I don't make guacamole, but I do make like this avocado creme cream kind of thing. So it's got like avocado. I put jalapenos, onions, garlic, a fuck ton of sour cream because I like sour cream. And then you just blitz it all up and you pour it over your nachos, and it has that cooling effect, but it has like that heat in the back. It's so good. Oh my goodness, it's so good.
I might be willing to accept that as an I'm gonna have to give that a try.
I'll make it for you. I will make that tomorrow. We're having nachos tomorrow.
Okay, I ain't gonna argue.
The best way to become friends is food and music. So, what is your second favorite song right now? Just right now. Not your favorite one, your second favorite one.
Honestly, it changes depending on my mood. Like
Valid.
I don't have like it entirely depends. Like even my favorite song depends on my mood.
Yeah, that's understandable. That's always a hard question. That's why I like to ask it, because no one ever has an answer, but it leads to a conversation.
Yeah, I don't like. I can't say that I'm a huge. I listen to music, but I'm not like a pop music type of person. I don't listen to the radio and put that kind of thing on. But like, I really enjoy folk music and bluegrass. I really love a banjo.
Yo, banjos are cool, man.
So the thing that I have gotten really into as far as music, so like when I'm working, I have a selection of metal that I'll listen to. But the thing that I've really gotten into lately is native music bands who are melding native music with modern music styles. So
I love that idea.
Love that.
I love the idea of mixing traditional with modern.
Yeah, I love that kind of thing.
And there's been more and more bands over the last several years that have been doing that. So for me, when I'm working, it's metal. When I'm trying to relax, it's usually more, I don't even know what they call it, contemporary, but still with a native base. I don't know.
There's in your mind, Inea, there is a new metal band that you really like called Bloodywood. That is from Punjab, India, and they are metal as fuck. And but they have the horns and the traditional Indian beats in there. It's amazing. I would recommend looking it up for both you as Cindy and as Inea, the player or the character.
Yes. Yes. And actually, I think I have heard of that, actually. I ran into that back when I started getting into the Who, and I had forgotten about it.
So, Nay's a metalhead. Got it.
Yeah. She's a little bit of a closet metalhead because she don't look it.
as you
So,
go ahead.
no, go on.
Okay. As you get a little deeper into your cups of non-alcoholic cocoa,
Never said that.
and
I've never said that.
oh, okay. Well, there might be a little bit of a nip in there.
I have a bit.
It's like Irish coffee, but cocoa.
Exactly.
Little peppermint schnapps in there.
Yeah.
That never hurt anybody.
Never.
At all. Not a single person.
At this point in the evening, you hear a knock on the door.
I'll go answer it.
You answer it, and standing in the doorway in front of you with the night sky behind him is Mr. Mark Cardassian. No relation.
Ooh.
Hi. Come on in.
Hi. Yeah, thank you. How is everyone doing?
Charlie shuffles around a bit and looks slightly uncomfortable and smiles.
Mark gives a very wide smile himself.
Mark, it's good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see all of you as well. Good to see you too. Very, very good to see you, Charlie. Though, not quite sure about the new look.
We do what we have to.
Yes.
I'm gonna get him back to himself here as soon as possible.
I certainly hope so. Don't worry, darling.
Yeah, this is not
like
my
you
best
either way.
look.
I'm a
Aw,
fan either way.
Thank you.
I'm a fan either way.
Oh.
Now, so how has how you've been? I know we
It's
I understand.
it's been a time.
We've been
No, we heard.
digital. That's how we've been.
I've heard about that as well.
There's
Lucia.
been some shit afoot.
Lucia's been keeping me informed of what she knows from what you've told her. I would. She's not great at keeping secrets, but that's okay. That's why I'm working with her. But
Yeah, she definitely needs to work on that. I need to talk to her. We encountered either the thing or something that looks like the thing that she accidentally called through.
yes, some form of extra-dimensional umbrood. Yeah, we're aware. We're
Yeah, well, we encountered it and it has got to go back. We have got to find a way to get it back where it belongs, because that's a mess.
It is, and it's certainly a mess that we can deal with. The city of Seattle has survived worse, so I think we'll be okay. But yes, definitely need to put a boot on that as quickly as possible. But I was coming here just to say hi, happy Thanksgiving. I couldn't call, but I can be anywhere I want, so here I am, hanging out with you. Is that Coco?
Yes. Would you like a cup? And would you like some schnapps?
I would be offended if you hadn't asked. So yes.
So I'm gonna make him cocoa with extra marshmallows.
And he settles into one of the available chairs. There's it's a small little table, but he's there and he sits next to Jezzy, across from Charlie, and just kind of stares a bit. You kept the eyes. It's a good choice.
Thank you. Yeah. I had to keep a little bit of myself.
Okay, off table. I'm sorry, this is adorable.
I tell you, it's not easy looking in the mirror and seeing this.
Well, I wake up and I see this, which is, fabulous. But
I'm a fan.
Thank you. But then I have to go to work, and then I have to look at Malcolm's, face all day, and that's just that man, mood swings all over the place. Well, anyway, that's work. Not here to talk about work. I was here to visit with some friends, make sure that everybody's doing well, and that we can rely on your support as we look into this Umbrood's existence and where the hell it's gone, and see if you have any. Well, actually, I have some newer information about the. The attacks on our homeless population have gone down this week, but I mean it's a week. But I also fear, I've looked into some of this, and I got a sense that it's not staying down. It's going to get worse before it gets better. The city has just put in some new regulations to clear out the camps, and that always stirs things up. And they've not done a whole lot this week due to the holiday, but they're definitely going to want to clean up areas of the city, especially with the upcoming Christmas holidays, their Yuletide greetings and all that. So I suspect in the next couple weeks we'll probably have some rough times. I was just making sure that you guys were still in a good place moving forward. See, I came up here saying I wasn't going to talk about work, but now I'm talking about work.
A part of it is that's how we met, was work. But
yeah, it's true. But
you know what?
lawyer.
Those people are my friend. Those people are my friends. So I appreciate the update. It's not work for me. It's personal. And we are gonna find a way to get that owl bullshit dealt with. I don't know how much you heard about what happened a week ago now, but
well, it's technocracy, so it's pretty difficult to get a lot of information out of that. But the bridge trolls, well, they don't talk to me, but they talk to Amnesia from time to time. So I've heard some of that.
okay.
By the way, is Khan as big an asshole as I think he is, or is it just me?
I don't know. Khan's always been kind of a sweetheart to me.
It's me then. Okay, got it.
I mean, he's got his quirks, but
Well, I'm not going to talk about it. Not going to talk about it. The lawyer in me wants to litigate everything, so I can't.
well, understand that he probably doesn't have good experience of lawyers, all things considered. So
yeah.
it might not be you. It might be his experience.
It might be all of this. Well, okay. Well, he's better to deal with than Deacon. So I don't like the Deacon. Deacon Magnus, whatever. Yeah. That guy can go fuck himself.
I don't think I've run into that one.
Jezzy did once, but yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
That's fine. He looked like the lead singer from Disturbed. So,
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
yeah. No, he's a dick.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, and they didn't meet him.
No, he gave Slimy even back then.
Well, this is really good cocoa, by the way. Thank you.
Of course. It's my aunt's secret recipe. It's not a secret. She just puts in extra chocolate.
I respect that. The cult of ecstasy has the right recipe for everything, I think.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, yeah.
You're not wrong.
And yeah, so just wanted to make sure that you guys are doing safe. I'm doing well and are safe. And this is nice. I don't know why Malcolm's never taken us out here before.
I get the idea that this place is not really Malcolm's speed.
Used to be, but yeah. Anyway,
I have a hard time imagining that, Malcolm. Honestly, this week
like I
has
said,
been
mood swings.
This week has been a much needed chance to catch up with ourselves and each other, because we haven't had that opportunity basically since we met each other. So this has been important. We are still, doing the thing, trying to keep up with what Malcolm was wanting us to look into, the owls and okay, so yeah, the umbral thing. Keep me in the loop on that, because I was involved when the damn thing came through. I probably should be involved in closing that loop. And I leave it up to Jesse and Charlie whether they want to be involved in it. It's obviously going to depend on what's going on at the time, too, for them.
Well, I saw that thing, and that thing needs to be stopped.
Yeah, and it's not like we're just gonna let you go there by yourself.
Right.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be by myself. I assume Lucia would be involved, but I appreciate that, y'all.
We're gonna see this through.
I think at this point you can kind of assume, Nay, that we've got your back.
Yeah.
I don't like assuming because it's important that y'all do the consent thing. That's always going to be a thing for me. But I do appreciate. I'm getting there, guys. I'm trying. This has been a lot fast for me, and last week didn't really help anything. So I'm trying.
Baby steps, It's
Yes.
okay.
Yes, I will get there. But baby steps.
Yeah, this is a huge change from just, spending weeks on end out in the forest by yourself. So,
I mean, honestly, this is the most fun I've had with any of my customers before, so thanks, y'all. And it got me the hell out of my library.
I like my library.
I liked my dude, that was the problem.
So, libraries have their uses, and they're excellent for retreats. But that's not the place to live.
No, I suppose not. Food's better outside anyway.
Also true.
As you're talking, you see Mark as he's drinking his cocoa. There's a moment where you see him think for a moment, then his eyes flash, he snaps his fingers, reaches into his coat pocket, and then pulls out an impossibly large tray of various pastries. And he puts that on the table.
You have a Mary Poppins coat.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm never going to turn down free food, so I'm going to take a bite of something yummy looking.
Oh yeah,
Well,
like I said, there's a couple of Danish type looking things, and looks like it was something that he just kind of pulled from his own table in his own home.
appreciate the contribution.
Homie forgot the pastries for a tea party he didn't even know he was coming to. Oh my goodness.
I can't resist. I see, that, you're living out here. You don't have access to the Dahlia bakery down the street like I do, and here it is.
Don't mind if I do, and I will take a hefty bite.
Yeah, if there's something with cream cheese, I want to eat it.
Anything lemon based, I got 'em all over it.
I get a variety, so I normally keep it for my clients, but friends are good too.
Are good too, especially when there are pastries involved.
All right. So, Mark brings the pastries. He brings the news. Starts getting a bit later in the evening, and he's like, "Well, I have to get back to Seattle, and I have to get my beauty rest. This does not happen without, lots of work and or life magic, and I'm too tired to do it otherwise." So
Well,
it was good
heaven
to see.
forbid we get in the way of your beauty routine.
Absolutely, I got to look good for the judges, right? So. If they don't like the way I
Face
look,
the Clay's opinions.
yeah. But it was an honor to sit with you and pleasure. Charlie, I'm still waiting for that phone call, and I will.
Believe me, if this ever settles down enough that I have a moment's peace to spend with you, I will be doing it.
Looking forward to it. But no absinthe this time. That was way too quite crazy. Well.
All right, it was lovely seeing you.
It's fantastic. He goes and gives you the hug.
Yay.
Nice and warm. And he looks at both of you and he's like, "No, okay, fine." Go ahead.
We know Jezzy's a hugger.
Yeah, Jesse's a hugger.
He gave me pastries.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate's kind of like, that's okay. We're good.
No, I'm getting a hug. Thank you.
He's like, "All right, sweetie.
It was good to have you stop by, Mark. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you. I'll be in touch. I'm keeping an eye on Lucia, as is my.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, Malcolm made her my problem, so yay.
Burden share, because
Honestly, I think you should have given her to Lucas, but whatever.
Oh, I guess we could have done. I guess we could. I mean, we already have them looking at a lot of stuff.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do feel kind of bad.
Is at the mention that he's of the name that it triggers a a memory in both Charlie and Inea. Lucas was one of the contacts on your list. A Professor Lucas.
Oh. We may need to contact Lucas anyway. Any idea why Malcolm didn't give her to Lucas?
I think it might have to do with well, if you know Lucas, he doesn't like to spend a whole lot of time here. He's usually off in some wild adventure on another planet, so it's
okay.
it gets,
Well,
it gets weird. I'm just gonna say it. It gets weird. I mean, I've seen him drive a station wagon into another universe. It's wild.
So that's probably why he didn't give Lucia to Lucas then, because she does not need encouraging. At least not like that.
Yeah, but he understands the tech. I don't.
Okay, but she needs to do a little more growing before she gets too ambitious.
You're not wrong. Well, it was a pleasure. Thank you for the lovely hot cocoa. And thank you for the company. And I will see you all later. He flashes a peace sign. And with that, a breeze ripples, his clothes flap in the wind a bit, and then he evaporates as he walks out the door.
I close the door behind him. Ish.
Oh no, yeah.
Whatever you call that.
Yeah, he was barely out the door when he disappeared.
Okay, so closing the door. And pat Shirley on the back on my way back to my seat.
He's so sweet.
You two are adorable.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, well, it's getting late, and we have an early damn morning.
True. That is
So we
true.
should probably clean up and call it a night.
Yeah. Plus, what are we gonna have for breakfast tomorrow?
Toast,
Light?
right?
Something super light because
Yeah, no, we don't want to have French toast before freaking karate.
maybe
Oh.
after, save
We
it for
can
after.
start with smoothies and go from
There.
Right.
there.
Yeah, like
way
yogurt
better.
or something.
Okay.
Get
That's
some
a
smoothies.
way better idea.
Yeah, so you make your preparations, you plan, you set the alarm to wake up at 6 a.m. or whatever you feel is necessary to get to a 7 a.m. boot camp. And I believe that's a good place to stop for the day, where we fade to black as you go to sleep.
That's probably a good place for it.
We're going to a martial arts class. I'm
Yes,
excited.
so with 2 different levels of difficulty. This is going to be interesting.
Mhm.
What does Charlie know about martial arts?
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. He's with Jezzy. Okay, you're in
Yeah,
the,
I know
Right.
exactly.
you're
2
there's-
in brawl, 0 in martial arts.
okay. So you got some start there. You
Some
know how to
fighting skill, but not martial arts.
nothing with finesse. Yeah,
Right.
your dad taught you some things. Yeah, like how to throw a punch and how to how to bob and weave a little bit. But that's about it.
Right. When you grow up gay and in like a really small town, you need to learn how to defend yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yep.
All right. Well, we got some plans for next week, and I'm gonna say, yeah, given the week that you've had, and Charlie's instructions, Jezebel, you can take that 1 dot in correspondence. It's going to cost 10 experience points.
Okay.
But again, each of you, the two of you, are able to connect on the practice of like psychedelics, and that's one of the disconnects between Charlie and Inea.
Yeah, your sense of space is completely different to Inea's. Inea's way more, like Tim said, into the animism, the connections of spirit, not space. So it's
Yeah, and Charlie has just the tiniest bit of knowledge in spirit, and there's just not enough between the two of us
overlap. Yep.
to make that easy.
Yeah, I think Inea's going to have to get it sort of interpreted through Moro and Flower Child, but that's going to be a conversation, capital C.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to think long and hard about what spirit correspondence means. Oh, that's fine. This is the type of thing I live for.
Correspondence. Ooh, I could do that.
Yeah, so 1 in correspondence, like 1 in any of the spheres, is perception, just kind of knowing, being able to feel things and sense things, like around a corner, or get a sense for a space. Like with 1 in correspondence, you could walk into a room and know the exact dimensions, that sort of thing. So you can also sense if somebody's been using correspondence magic. You know, you know it. You got that. It was a helpful thing. Hold on.
Oops. They might have to perceive it through a like web of life kind of imagery, or maybe wheel, a medicine wheel.
Yeah, I mean, like that's, like I said, Charlie kind of has a bit of that with the mycelial network, but mushrooms are weird, and he's weird. He's you know, he's growing mushrooms out of his head. So
And if everybody wouldn't keep giving him a hard time about it, I think he'd be all right with it.
Probably, but you know, I mean, he's trying to go unremarked.
Already looks weird enough being shrunken and squished.
I've got 2 different pictures here for Mr. Cardassian.
For Mr. Mark.
I like them both.
I prefer
Both
this one,
very handsome.
but they're both very nice. Yes.
I chose the one with the more groomed haircut for this, because they added this hair to metahuman, and I was like, yes, give me that hair.
Between the two of them, this guy looks more like a lawyer.
That too.
Yeah, and more concerned with looking sharp. Like,
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, with one in any sphere is like perception, 2 is manipulation, 3 is control, 4 is command, and 5 is mastery. If you were to break all those down, so. And supposedly there are ranks 6 through 10, but you'll never know.
Wow.
Because what does that even mean?
Not in the immediate future. We got other shit to be worrying about.
Well, as I started this session with, the idea that, to be a mage of anything beyond like two dots is, in any of the spheres, is hard, and you have to work at it. It is not just, I have this wild talent and I'm a mutant and I'm an X-Man and I can do things. It takes study. It takes discipline and focus. And so, like I said, you guys are all disciples. You're all sitting at like 3 dots somewhere. You have put in the time, and you're putting in more time. So
Mhm.
I think that was the theme of this episode all around anyway.
Putting in the time. Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, and I mean, they need that. They need all of what they've been through has been fuel for growth. So I think that that is where they are right now, is in that growth period.
Let's see. Charlie's got the 1 dot in computer. I just said computer because I was like
Computer.
Jen from the IT crowd. I love that show too much. It doesn't work as well today as it did when it came out. Very transphobic episode.
Mm.
It's like, that could have been done better. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, you're gonna be doing some martial arts. Yeah, okay, yeah, cool. I got plans. I got things to prep and scenes to write. Anything
Cool.
that you get. All right. So, anything from you before we depart? I can. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll do the notes now. What if are there any notes that you have in mind? So you go to my episode guide.
I think we covered everything I had, like, immediately.
Alrighty, well. Anything from this episode that you liked, didn't like, anything that you wanted to see more of?
So Mark flirting with Charlie is adorable,
Yes, so more
and
of
he needs
that.
to just show up randomly more often.
He is a what is his rank? He's definitely a correspondence. Like, honestly, if you want to learn more about correspondence, this might be the man to learn more about correspondence from.
Oh, interesting.
He's also
I was kind
really-
of thinking that when he said that he can be anywhere that he wants to be. I'm like, wait a minute.
and he pulled a tray out of his coat pocket from his
Right.
house.
Mary Poppins goat.
Which
What?
to me seems like, and in Charlie's thoughts, that's a combination of correspondence and matter.
He's also got 4 dots in matter.
And that's something that Charlie is severely lacking in.
Yeah, the reason why Mark is working with Lucia is because he actually is a near master with matter, and so that's where they connect.
Mm.
Anywho,
I'm glad somebody's connecting with Lucia, because honestly, Nay just doesn't know what to do with her. She's feels to Nay like, this excited teenager that just found this awesome new shiny thing that she wants to play with and doesn't consider consequences, like,
That it may
running.
be a world-destroying thing that she's accessing.
Yes.
yeah, well, we'll see. Because I like my world. I don't want it to be destroyed.
Right. Let's do what we can to save the world.
Please, let's not do that thing. Ugh.
Or at least our corner of Seattle.
Indeed. Okay. So yeah, Mark. I wanted to bring Mark in again because you're right. He's cute.
He's freaking adorable. I love him.
Yeah. And so you've had some mentorship, and you've got the place where you're at. Is there anything else that, like, anything that you didn't see that you wanted to? Because I know we're in kind of this small transition period here.
Well, okay. So Nay was intrigued by the conversation between Charlie and, I'm sorry, I have screwed up her name in my head already. Celeste?
Less.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Regarding what I assume is probably going to be his familiar, a ritual to call him a familiar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she also didn't feel like she should jump in on that because that was between mentor and student. but she may like to pick Charlie's brain about it. Maybe after they have their asses kicked tomorrow.
Oh yeah, Charlie's got a long day tomorrow, but you know, everybody's got a long day.
Yeah.
This is this period, like I said, this period of time where you're at, you know, you've probably got, you know, another couple weeks maybe here in this space, and we're not going to role play every day. That's just not possible.
That would be forever. That would take us forever to do.
Yeah, and
This
you know,
is one of those spots where it feels like Charlie definitely feels like this is much needed, like rest and recuperation, and also opportunity to kind of process and grow from what we just did, but also like what's going on in our absence.
Right.
You know, there's this like nagging feeling that like we need to be back in Seattle protecting things.
Right,
Yeah.
because time is not stopped just because we are taking a timeout.
right.
Right.
So,
Another reason to bring Mark into this, as that reminder.
and actually, that makes Nay feel much better that there's somebody that's keeping them in the loop about the shit that they're needing to monitor in Seattle, but that they can't necessarily monitor as well from where they are right now.
I said, I make the assumptions that you have intelligent conversations with people like Joseph and Daniel that are connected to, you know, other mages as well. And again, they're all they've all kind of come together to create this safe space for you. And yeah, the safe space was already there. This is kind of the, you know, this is a place where Mabel and Malcolm and others know about and have used. So anyway,
I also feel like if our contacts there knew something bad was happening, that they would try to get a word out to us.
Yeah.
correct.
To get our help.
Yeah, we aren't completely incommunicado. We're just a little hard to get a hold of right at the moment.
Exactly.
But we can be contacted.
Right, but there's definitely this nagging feeling like we need to be back there doing something,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a small little, you know, wave and a nod and a wink to Dakota and his Logan character from years ago. So hi, that's it. That character is just, I see them so much in like a lot of the stuff in the backgrounds in my head, because that character is like the nexus point of like multi timelines branching. So I've never had that full conversation because I've never had a chance to actually play all of that out. But yeah, there's some, if I ever get around to it, there is a strange temporal anomaly in in Ballard because of that character. So anyway,
Yeah.
weird shit happens in Mage, and sometimes you don't follow every thread to its end. But I had a great time. I hope you guys did too. And that's kind of all I got.
Yep. Bill, I want you to hang out for a second because I'm dying to show you my hair.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bye guys. Yeah, stay in.
Yes. Love it. Yeah. Okay. Okay.